Hello and g'day. In today's video, we're going to be doing some snippets using only 3 scraps of paper and stapled together. I've made a few up here and they're all just 3 pieces of scrap paper. Now I'm pretty sure that you've all got a little box of scraps like this. This is the small box I feed into a bigger box. So this is just sitting beside me here, and as I finish a project I just throw all the bits and pieces in here. So I'm going to pull them all out so you can see what we've got to work with. There's a lot in here, but there's not a real lot in the big scheme of things. So what I've done is I've just picked out 3 little pieces of paper and I've stuck them together. This is just a little bit of tissue paper. Let's see if I can find some. See, some off-cut. I use this tissue paper to stamp on and make my own paper. So that's just a little bit left over. And then I've put some vellum paper on top of that I had left over from my last project. And then some napkin. That's just the edge of a napkin that I used on the project before that one. And I just put that on there. Then I use my genuine vintage Dymo label maker and just put, well, you can put a quote on there. I just put snippet because that's what we're making today. And then I stapled it in the center. So that is now ready to either glue or staple again if you want to go stapler mad, and glue it into a page or something, glue it onto something else. More scraps, right? This is packing paper. So I've just folded that up and that would go in my scrap bin as well. So I'll just show you a couple that I've made. This one here's got washi tape on it. So I've just got what I thought was a nice looking washi that is a bit transparent. The transparent one works really well. And you just pop that over the top. So that's my 3rd piece of paper. This one here, it's just a graph paper. And I used a piece of paper lace on this one. And it's got a sticky back on it. So when you peel the sticky back off, I used it as a stencil on this one. So there's my paper lace. You peel the paper off the back and then that becomes a sticker. So you can then stick that onto your paper. Then I used the sticky back, well, whatever that is, I took off and made it into a stencil. Where'd it go? So it looks pretty cool, and just used distress ink. And I used the makeup brushes in, oh no, actually, I might have just used that and just went like that. Either, you could use that or you could use the makeup brush. And that's another project I done the other day when I'd done the journal pages and just a bit of one that didn't make the grade. I took that off the edge and I used that in the snippet with a bit of pattern paper. Colour it up and boom, you got a little label there. Where's another one? This one, I like this one. It's just a plain little piece of paper, this one here. Bit of vellum over the top and a bit of washi tape. I've got no stapler in that one. So, I'll just show you what it looks like. If you haven't got a stapler, it doesn't really matter. And actually, I'll show you how to put a stapler in if you haven't got a little stapler. This is a vintage stapler. I've had this since probably the 80s, 70s or the 80s. These were, the staplers that we used to use before all the fancy ones come in. Then this one here, I've just made this one a little bit bigger. And granted, I cheated and I put 4 on this one. So I just put that tiny little bit of washi across the top there. So technically it's not 4. This one, another piece of, this is just a, I can't remember what this paper was, but it's like a tracing paper and it's been tea dyed. And this is just the end off a tag, and that's just another offcut. And I've got my little punch tool out and just punched. It's just a one slot punch tool, and I just punched a slot in it to let a bit of the colour come through, and use that one. That one's more just some paper I used. Remember I cut out that little collage? I think it was this one here. I made those collages, but I cut out a flower and put over the top, so that's the leftover paper from that. And yep, and you just keep going like that. You can be as plain as you like, but when you put that onto something, you know, oh yeah, maybe not that, but yeah, there you go. When you put something like that and glue that down onto an envelope or onto a tag or something, it is there ready to go for you. You can just use it on anything you want. So you make up a few of these and off you go. This one here I used 2 staples. So that's a bit of page paper, and I actually used this all the way through. I've got a little butterfly one too, so we'll have a go at that. So I'm just using number 10 size staples, and let's get and make a couple up, hey? Okay, now all you need to do is just pick out a piece of anything you like. Let's try and pick something I haven't made yet, something I haven't used yet. Maybe this little piece here. Okay, so we just rip it. You don't really need to plan it out too much. I'm even going to leave that shape on there. That shape will work okay, because the whole idea of this is to get something a little bit different. This has got some oranges and greens in it, but I think that's going to look really good on there. And I could even use that little bit of paper on there if I wanted to. And you just keep on layering it up. I know I like them too, so all I've got to do now is find my next piece to go over the top, and I could use pattern paper for that. Don't forget that this is just a foundation. All it is I'm asking you to use 3 pieces of paper, 3 pieces of scrap, so that when you go to use it later on, you can put it on a tag. You can build it up later. It's for you to build on later on, but for now we're just using it for the basics. See, as soon as you add it to something else later, you're going to love it. It's just something ready to go for you now. So I think I might just run with that, and you can add some distress ink to that as well. So we might do that with that one. I like the pattern paper because it's a bit see-through-ish and it looks pretty good. And it's got some lines on it. I'll get a bit of colour on that. I don't want too much because I want that pink to work. So I'm really only colouring the edges. Actually, I might put a little bit just on that white bit of the vellum. This vellum is just such a wonderful thing to work with. And just pick it up and staple through the whole 3 pieces. See, I didn't even stop and look and think about where I was putting it. Pop that straight in. Let's go something else. I did see something yesterday that I quite liked. I like that colour. Can't remember what it was, but I think it was this one. There's some pink and some green on that. So I do like that. So pink on that side. I'll show you how I use this to get that 4th element in, which is a little bit cheating. We'll go over that, and that'll give me the stencil on both of these colours. I'm going to keep it going down this side. So there we go. So that's there. That looks all right. I don't know why I keep coming back to this piece because it's not working. What if I put it there? That's a bit better. If I put it there like that, as long as you staple those 3 pieces down, I think that will be okay. And you can cut, you don't have to tear. See how things go. And all I've got to do is figure out what to do with that bit. So I might just tear that off there and bring it up to there. So that isn't too bad. And I think I can use that on something else later. I'm going to cut those little pieces off. So you can spend as little or as long as you like on this. I don't like that cut bit, so I'll tear it. I'm a fiddler. I love fiddling. I can stand here or sit down as long as it takes for me to come up with something that I really love. You can also come in with your little jewelry pliers and just flatten those staples down even more to make them nice and flat. But putting a little stencil on like that just adds a little bit more interest. So that one turned out okay in the end. What else can we do? I could even stamp on this, you know. Doesn't matter if it's hit and miss because you're not going to see it all. Oh, this bit's nice. Look at that. That bit will be nice. Nice background. Get that stapler out. So yeah, no bigger than that, and you can go smaller than that. So you can even group them up if you needed to put 2 together when you use them in a project. But once they've all been made up and popped in a box for you to use later, they will be able to be put together like that. So that one looks okay too. All right, now, like I said, I was going to show you how to do a staple without using a stapler. So if you want to just get yourself some of these tiny little size 10 staples, how you would put it in. So you just get one off. So you need to separate your staples like that. So you've got one individual staple. So let's just use this little snippet piece here and just get some of these nice colours showing through. Now I'm just going to get a pokey tool, okay, or a needle. Place the snippets on your mat and push a hole through all 3 layers. Then make a second hole beside the first hole to match the width of the staple. Pick it up and get a pair of small jewelry pliers to put the staple into the holes. Push the prongs through to the back side and then bend them over with the pliers, or you can use your fingers. These small staples are really soft and you can bend them easily. You can flatten them down some more with the pliers if you want it. Here, I'll show you how soft these little size 10 staples are. You can bend them with your fingers just like this. Make as many of these mini stapled snippets as you want. Pop them in a box or a drawer for later. And one more tip, store them in a clear container so you don't forget they're there. Use them. They're perfect to add to tags, pockets. You can even layer them on themselves. I'm Donna. Thanks for watching and bye for now.